Hello. Hi, everyone. It's so good to see you. It's 12:30 on a Thursday. That means I'm here with you. Love 12:30 on a Thursday. It's Ounce of Prevention chat time. And the Ounce of Prevention is the blog, and you can sign up for that at stephaniefinemd.com because I am Stephanie Fine MD. It's so good to see you. So this week, I spoke about balance versus harmony. You'll have to read the post to read my rant about balance, but I landed on harmony. This idea of harmony, of things. To me, feeling in harmony means I'm feeling calm and peaceful. Things are working together, even if they're disparate, even if they're different, even if there's different notes, highs and lows, but they're all working together to make a calm, peaceful place. And that as a goal versus balance as a goal made so much sense to me when I heard it. That's the idea I want to talk about here. Now, the thing is in life, there could be harmony, right? And that's actually what, when I was introduced to this idea, they were talking about. But of course, you can have harmony in your food. And that's what we're going to talk about right here. So, what does harmony in your food mean? It means the same as harmony in your life. And I've talked about this before. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Usually concepts like these apply to little things and then also broader things. And that's exactly the case. So, how does it work with the food? There are a couple ways, and we're going to talk about them. One is on your plate, the idea of balance on your plate, right? So a balanced meal. What did that mean? Well, when I learned about it, it was in like elementary school, and we would be learning about, the quadrants, now it's a pyramid or now it's a plate and it used to be a pyramid, that whole thing, like balance, that there had to be carbs, proteins, and vegetables on there. Now, and that's the point I want to talk. You don't have to have a balanced plate like that. There's certainly times for snacks. I like to focus on protein because it fills me up the most and keeps me satisfied, which is my main thing. I don't like to feel hungry. That is not fun for me. So I do what I can to feel satisfied the longest, and protein is very helpful there. Fat can make you feel full, but then that has more than double the calories per gram than protein does. So it's not that fat is bad, it isn't bad, but in terms of the quantity to fill you up, it makes more sense to focus on the protein. So I have a good amount of protein on my plate when I'm doing it, but I do have a lot of vegetables too. So again, that's not balanced, but there's harmony there because that works for me. That's what I have found works best for me. So we have the idea of harmony, not balance on the plate. Now, if we're looking at a day of calories, let's say, let's say you have 1,200 calories is the number of calories that your body burns in a day. And so you eat that number of calories so that you're staying at the same weight because that's your goal. You're maintaining your weight loss. So you can have 1,200 calories every single day. That would be balance each day. But really what we're looking for, you can look at it a unit of time in a week so that you could have fewer calories during the week, like Monday through Friday, say your work week. And then on the weekends, you have then extra calories. And then you can eat in a different way on the weekend because you've planned for it, and it works out great for maintaining your weight loss, which is the goal that you have for yourself. So again, that's not balanced, it's out of balance. The weekend has more calories, but the week is in harmony because you've planned for it. Now, actually, that's the point of harmony, right? Is the intention. So the idea of how to be in harmony is to be present, have intention about where you are and what you're doing. When we're talking about having harmony with food, it's the same thing. What I like to usually talk about is consciousness around food, so that you're conscious of your decisions, the choices that you make are intentional. That's what we need when it comes to food. So you know the times when you're going to be eating more, eating less. So nothing comes as a surprise. Now, this is where harmony and food really come together. What we're looking for with harmony with food is no guilt. Right? Guilt is basically the opposite of harmony, right? Like, guilt feels terrible. Guilt is yucky terrible. In order to be in harmony with your food, then you are eating intentionally. Now, that could mean eating more than you normally would. You can eat more than you normally would with intention and therefore be in harmony. It would require planning and forethought. It's a birthday, it's a special occasion, it's your favorite X, Y, and Z, you're traveling. There's many reasons why you would decide to do that. And if it was over a prolonged period of time rather than just one meal, you would have to deal with the consequences if you're looking to maintain your weight, because you would increase your weight. And so you'd need to do something to decrease it, which again, if we're looking at a bigger picture, is harmony, because you certainly can go up if you have the plans to go down. The bigger picture is harmony there. But the trick is the intention around it. Because when we can feel at peace with the decisions that we're making, then life is so much better, so much better on so many levels. So we're looking for harmony in that there's no guilt and beating ourselves up, and that kind of thing happens when there's unplanned eating and feeling sort of out of control. Now, quickly, the ways that you can get yourself in a situation where you're feeling out of control is a lot of stress and you don't have another way of dealing with it. If food is your only way of dealing with stress, I'll guarantee you're going to have stress, and then you will overeat. So one of the things that's very important is to have a different way of coping with stress rather than eating. And that's something you have to find for yourself, because everyone is different. Some people will sing, some people will run, some people will play video games, some people will, there's writings, that there are so many different ways of doing it, talking to a friend, but there needs to be ways that you have in your toolbox to be able to do. So that would not be harmony. If you're going to overeat from stress, that would not be a harmonious situation. The other thing too is environmental control. If you happen to be in a place and there's food that you love to eat and it's right there and open, that's a trigger that makes it difficult. So we work hard to make sure our environment is as trigger-free as possible. That's another way to live in harmony with the food. So those main things. The third and final one I'm going to talk about here is hunger. When you get too hungry, the next time you're exposed to food, it's highly likely that you'll overeat. And that's like a biology thing. Do you know? I mean, that's a human thing. I'm sure there are humans on the planet who can, when they're really hungry, can modulate themselves. That's just not usually the case with me and the people that I work with. So those are the three things to avoid if we want to feel harmonious in the way that we're eating and in our food in general, so that there's not a guilty, bad feeling. Now, if a binge happens, getting back to feeling okay with ourselves as soon as possible is really important. So the beating ourselves up, again, not harmonious and also not helpful. I mean, doesn't do anything to help us. If we can examine the situation, what happened, what can I avoid in the future, and then say, okay, learn something, then we can not beat ourselves up, we can move along, and we can regain our harmony. So I loved the concept of harmony and looking at it in terms of it as a goal. If my goal is to feel harmony, what do I have to do? And here's what I'll tell you, the shortcut. Be present. That way you're making decisions you're intentionally choosing foods, you're intentionally choosing situations, you are able to evaluate what's going on right now. when you are being present. And when you can evaluate what's really going on right now, you can make the strong decisions you need to make. Even just the next decision, but in a clear way. So that's harmony. That's the Ounce of Prevention chat for today. Think about that harmony and think about that when you're eating your food. And I'll bet that a lot of the times you're feeling harmonious with food. But note if you're not. And then be present and make decisions from there. Mwah. Love you. I will see you next week. So good to be with you. Next week, Thursday, 12:30. Same place, same time. Bye.